So hey guys, what is up? Well, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But all right. Today we're looking at Watts, and I can say for certain this deck not very good. And yeah, that's about all that needs to be said. Despite Watts getting support, we can just look at this and nod our heads yes and say this is the worst version of like Numeron because this deck simply does not OTK. Like the end board could be anything. It could be literally our opponent just passed and did nothing. Our opponent could have set a single monster. Our opponent could have a boss monster on field, like any boss monster, and it could even be beneficial to us a little bit. And we still don't really have lethal. So if we just real quickly do this hand, not lethal. So if we were to attack with Wat Giraffe, this allows us to summon Wat Tuna, and then Wat Tuna attacks, so that's 1.2k, 800, so that's 2k, and then when Wat Tuna attacks, it allows us to special summon uh, our Wat Q key, which then does 1.6k, putting us at 3.6k, and then Wat Q key will special summon a guy. Doesn't matter which one, it's 1.5 and 1.4k attack, which does not add up to 8k. So, not lethal. And what play do we actually have after we attack? We have no play, for the most part. Here in this case, we actually do have one play. So, if we pay attention a little bit here, you might notice that Watuna activates its effect in hand because of here. At the end of the damage step, if your monster inflicts spell damage to your opponent, you can special summon this card from your hand. So, because this guy special summons from our hand, pretty interesting, yeah? It also activates in the hand. Oh, let me read this fun text over here. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned during the turn. Thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand by attributing one thunder effect non-fusion monster, in which case you do not use polymerization. So even if we are thunder locked, we can still do this. If we triggered Watuna, we can then go into Thunder Dragon Colossus. So we are really banking on this Colossus pass. That is to say. And if you're wondering about the random Thunder Dragons I put in here, they're essentially just for fun. It's probably never going to come up, really, these guys. But you do have the idea of doing Wat Hydra to banish a card from our deck. So we could do like banish Thunder Dragon Dark, add Hawk special summon Dark. Then we can tribute for Thunder Dragon Colossus. And that's like kind of a play we can do, right? So that works, I guess. And now that I look at it, it's like, do we even need Cult by? I guess. Like, probably not. Like, Promethean Princess, we wouldn't need to hit with a Cult by. I guess it'd be mostly like Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. We're trying to resolve like what Kingdom or what Train. Speaking of which, these cards not that great either. Well, yeah, that's about how it goes, I guess. So, lethal, if we were to want to lethal, how in the world do we lethal? I guess if we have like a kaiju, the kaiju can deal some damage, you know? Like if we have Thunder King, the Lightning Strike kaiju, it can run over like Gamesiel for an additional like 1,100 damage. But that's still not lethal, I believe. We have like what? Pheasant to banish Gamesiel and then summon what? Tuna. I think we have lethal in this case. And that could be like winning potentially. But also sadly, there are these two cards that exist that make it like really rough. So we have IP Masquerena, you know, so not much we can do about IP, but there's of course IP make Apollosa, there is IP make SP, and you do not have a good time against either of those cards in general. If we have like a board breaker with us, like for example, the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, then we might be able to at least force our opponent not to be able to make SP, but then all of our guys here, for the most part, are very small aside from our Kaiju that we might summon, which, well, with Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, this can be ashed. So that's also not great. I guess it is what it is, though. So, if we want to make a really nasty play, there might be a way to do it, but it's not going to be that interesting, I don't think. If I was thinking about the most degenerate thing I can easily do to my opponent, I mean, it'd probably be like drop shifter, and then we can try for hand loop. I don't really know how we would put out multiple walk chimeras onto the field, but interestingly enough, with walk chimera, this is not a hard once per turn, nor is it a once per turn. So if we could somehow get multiple attacks with walk chimera, then we could really hand loop our opponent. So that's also an interesting idea. But in general, I don't really see that much of anything to do with Watts. But Watt is pretty cheap, and I just happen to have all of these cards because I pulled for the Thunder Dragon cards, you know, so same pack. So I guess I just have these cards anyways. So let me know if you guys want to see me actually try to play this deck, or if I should just completely just give up. I mean, I don't have to really dismantle it because like in the main deck there isn't a single UR. These are just URs I just happen to have for like no real reason. Like I didn't craft these 3 copies of Original Bamboo Sword. I just pulled them and I just still have them. I figured they would come up eventually, and here they are coming up, I guess. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.